Where in the legacy world do you think we'll continue to see Nostr being organically advertised?
That's a good question. My original thesis has always been we have to have more fun.
Hmm.
So what does that mean as someone that's building this tool? What does that actually mean? I mean, you and I see your zaps everywhere. For some
Yeah,
reason, it does just feel so good to
I
send
love
value
it.
to other people. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's fun. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, obviously, I go to bed thinking about this every day. How are we going to get the masses over here? Um,
Hmm.
I mean, it's very cool that we have a bunch of Bitcoiners on the protocol, and Bitcoiners, more people are listening to us. We pretty much swung an election, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we're right about Nostr as well. So,
Hmm. What I was trying to tease out was uh, every day you'll see some kind of headline somewhere of a piece of government overreach where they'll be saying, oh, by the way, this person was naughty. We're going to put in place this law. Or this company misbehaved, and therefore this regulation is going to come in and like save the day. And for example, like there was that headline about Brazil banning Twitter for whatever reason. That's kind of what I was trying to get to with that headwind tailwind concept. It's like there's going to be people deplatformed elsewhere all the time, and that is only going to pick up pace, right?
yeah. And I think so. It depends. I mean, the last election and whatnot, it seems like we're trending in the right way for some countries.
Yeah.
For others, looks like we're going the wrong way.
Mm.
So it is just a matter of the builders of these products like Nostr. And I think this is something we haven't done a great job of yet, is to create tools for people like me and you, these power users,
Mm.
that are able to help onboard their communities rapidly and get them off these legacy platforms.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why Nostr First is perhaps a more suitable approach to the content creation side of things, because when I have an RSS feed pumping out podcast episodes to iTunes and to Spotify, if someone starts listening, and I could easily do this, I haven't yet, but insert some kind of prompt being like, switch over to Fountain and send us some boosts. Or, I like to use a value for value model. Check us out on Nostr where we post things first and send us a zap. Um, and it's interesting because I feel like I've really tried to focus on just creating the content so far, but actually a lot of what makes that valuable is guiding your audience. And I haven't done this enough. And like, by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this, do this. And often I will when I'm listening to other people's stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, good idea, and you follow the prompt. So I could do that more. And I think, you could have in your Twitter bio, for example, like I spend time on Nostr where I speak freely, come here. So we could all do a better job of that. I think where I was trying to get to is that, in my strong opinion, the the digital world is making it more and more difficult, and it's trending harder for people to say what they feel online. And yes, the recent election might have been a small respite to that. But, I look at Australia, where I've spent a lot of time the last 5 years, recently become a citizen, and they're talking about bringing in stupid rules around how many times a teenager can go online. And it's just very obvious. And to Canada, another place for sure, the UK, where I grew up, they're getting more and more authoritarian and getting further and further left. And the only way that that ends up going is making people censor online more and more and more. And as that happens, Nostr becomes more and more obvious.
Yeah. I mean, after being there for a while, it feels so obvious. It almost, you can't say the should word, but it feels like social media should have always been this way. Maybe it's just because the tech wasn't there,
Mm.
when these tools were being built. And the other thing is a couple things. Like, we are evolving now with social media. It's a critical way of how we spread information and communicate in our day-to-day lives. But it's been such a short amount of time.
Mm.
So there's an experiment. They're gonna just cut people off. We'll see how that works. Probably won't. Um, yeah, and that's definitely an advertisement for Nostr. And then I guess something deeper too is we just need to figure out, as these smart monkeys, how to communicate with each other online.
Yes. Yeah,
Because
it's so obviously broken when you really think about it.
yeah, it's so obviously broken because these algorithms and whatnot, they promote fear, rage, and hate
Mm.
and yelling.
Yeah. And the reason they do that is because that's the easiest way to keep your attention for longer, which means they can make more dollars from the adverts. And that incentive model isn't going to change. It's actually really interesting. I saw it's a very famous clip of Joe Rogan talking about um, the potential for podcasts, and it's him drinking a beer with one of his buddies who's a comedian. I can't remember how. It's literally like 10 years ago. This now, maybe more. And he's like, the thing that this potentially solves is that media is broken because it's selling adverts. Whereas you can just sit online and drink beer and talk about what the fuck you want for as long as you like. We just have to figure out how to make money out of it. And it's like, wow, that was like 15, 20 years ago, maybe he was talking about that. And the ad business caught up, basically, for the general internet user. Whereas maybe this is different with Nostr.
Maybe because we have money built right in.